So guys, different political parties are now calling for the ANC Justice Minister Thembisa Milane to step down after she was exposed as one of the people that have potentially benefited from VBS collapse. If you are not familiar with the backstory, this is what happened. Justice Minister Thembisa Milane took a loan of more than R500,000 from a company that brokered unlawful investments of 349 million rand into the VBS by the Polokwane municipality while she was the mayor of the city in 2016. She used the quote-unquote commercial loan of 575,000 rand from Gundo Wealth Solutions that is owned by Ralium Razwinane to purchase a coffee shop in Sandton. But Razwinane and Gundo Wealth Solutions also brokered investments on behalf of the VBS Bank and the Polokwane municipality, where Milane was the mayor, and invested 349 million rand into the bank. When VBS imploded in March 2018, forensic investigations found it had rewarded Razwinane with kickbacks totaling to 24 million rand for brokering investments from various municipalities and state entities. And guys, we also learned from the Daily Maverick that this company that belongs to Ralium Razwinane is the owner of the company that gave Justice Minister a loan. We learned from the Daily Maverick that this company does not have the license to issue out loans. So this is one of the things that the Justice Minister will have to explain. Why did you go to a company that does not have the license to issue out loans? And this is the same company that brokered unlawful investments of 349 million rand into the VBS Bank with the Polokwane municipality, where you was the mayor of the Polokwane municipality. So it looks like the Justice Minister has a lot to explain. And this is the reason why political parties are saying, Ramaphosa, please, man, get this woman the hell out of here. Because this woman is the Justice Minister. She oversees the NPA, the same NPA that is investigating VBS. So there is clear conflict of interest. It can be that the person that oversees everything is also implicated in one of the biggest cases that NPA is investigating. So political parties right now are calling for Ramaphosa to fire this woman, and they are also calling for this woman to step down.
Now, the EFF has added its voice to calls for Justice Minister Thembisa Milane to step down over alleged links to the VBS Mutual Bank.
And guys, I don't know if you are aware of it or what, but when it comes to the EFF has also found its voice when it comes to this matter of VBS. You know that for the longest time, the EFF could not utter the word VBS because of, obviously, Floyd Shivambu, his brother, and VBS. And now the EFF is starting to be vocal about VBS and calling for the accountability of VBS. If you are not, if you don't believe me, on social media, the page that we are viewing right now, this is Sihlelonzi. This guy is the EFF Student Command president. He went on social media and said, Floyd VBS Shivambu will never divide the EFF Student Command. You can see that even the EFF itself, they are now starting to link VBS with Floyd Shivambu, and I think this is the reason why they have now become vocal about this issue of the VBS, because it looks like the EFF for the longest time, they could not be vocal about this issue of VBS, and I think this is the reason why Julius Malema said VBS is a swear word to us, because they were protecting Floyd Shivambu. And now Floyd Shivambu is the member of the MK, and the EFF is saying, man, you can go there with your VBS. This is the reason why you will see the members of the EFF on social media calling Floyd Shivambu with Floyd VBS Shivambu, man. It's quite fascinating. It's quite fascinating to see a political party that could not even utter a word VBS a couple of months ago to now being confident to linking this VBS with their former deputy president. Quite fascinating.
Now, the EFF has added its voice to calls for Justice Minister Thembisa Milane to step down over alleged links to the VBS Mutual Bank saga. Milane allegedly accepted a loan of over R500,000 rand from a company linked to the looting of the now defunct VBS Bank. News 24 and the Daily Maverick reported that she used the money to buy a coffee shop in Sandton. At the time, Simelane was the mayor of Polokwane.
So now this lady has took the money to open a coffee shop in Sandton. Can you just imagine, man? The people of Polokwane, they are sitting there. They are not even sure that they will get their money back. And someone who has been linked to benefiting from the collapse of VBS, she took the money to open a coffee shop in Sandton.
The municipality illegally invested close to 350 million rand into VBS. Action SA has since asked the public protector to investigate the allegations, while the DA wants the minister to answer to Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Justice. Now, for more on that story, I am joined by the DA's member of the Parliament Portfolio Committee on Justice, Advocate Glenys Breitenbach. Advocate Breitenbach, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's just get straight into you as the DA are saying that the minister should come to Parliament to account. Tell us more.
Well, the problem is, as you have sketched, there's quite a lot of money invested illegally.
And man, I don't think that this minister will go I don't think she will go to Parliament. I don't think she will go to Parliament. The odds are against her. The odds are against her. If she goes to Parliament and allow people like Advocate Breitenbach to ask her questions, man, she will not be able to actually get herself out of it. So I think she's going to find a way. But I also don't think that she's going to step down. Like, this is how the ANC operates. ANC, it doesn't matter if you are linked with corruption. The ANC is not going to act on this woman. So I also don't think that she's going to step down. I think they are going to sit down until the dust settles. I think this is the strategy that has been used by the ANC for the longest time. If someone is linked with corruption, that person, they will just sit down until the dust settles, and the ANC will not do anything about it because the ANC has the history of not acting on corruption. So I don't think they are going to start now.
Advocate Glenys Breitenbach.
Unless this woman has also pissed off Ramaphosa, because you know the ANC have the step-aside rule. And this step-aside rule, it looks like it only works if Ramaphosa hates you. If Ramaphosa hates you, then the ANC is going to implement the step-aside rule. But if you are cool with Ramaphosa, if everything is still fine between you and Ramaphosa, the ANC is not going to apply this step-aside rule. So I guess we are yet to see what the ANC is going to do. But chances are the ANC is not going to do anything about what this woman has actually done.
Now, for more on that story, I am joined by the DA's member of the Parliament Portfolio Committee on Justice, Advocate Glenys Breitenbach. Advocate Breitenbach, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's just get straight into you as the DA are saying that the minister should come to Parliament to account. Tell us more.
Well, the problem is, as you have sketched, there's quite a lot of money invested illegally in VBS. Days later, the funds flow to Gando Wealth Management, and days after that, the 500,000 plus flows to the minister, and she doesn't deny that she used it to buy a coffee shop. So the transactions appear on the face of it to be problematic and certainly require investigation. But the minister must come to the Justice Portfolio Committee and explain A, this transaction, B, she must produce the documents. She says it was a bona fide commercial loan. Well, she needs to produce those documents to demonstrate that. She said it's been repaid. Well, we need to see some proof of that as well. And then, of course, the more glaring issue is the very glaring conflict of interest issue, both as the mayor of Polokwane investing money in VBS and then borrowing money from VBS to buy a coffee shop. But more importantly now, as the Justice Minister, who sits sort of at the head of the pyramid of criminal justice in South Africa, and the National Prosecuting Authority, which depends on the department for their budget, amongst other things, will be required to prosecute this matter if and when the investigation is done and they make a decision. So there's a rather glaring conflict there, and if the minister cannot satisfy the committee that all the bases have been covered, well then we'll have no choice but to ask that, she consider either stepping down or be suspended.
Yeah, and I'm glad, Advocate, that you started there with the chronological sequence of events, because those matter too as to when that municipality invested into VBS and when her loan was approved as well. But when you're saying if she does then appear, you need to, furnish her with all the questions, she needs to furnish all the evidence and answers as well. If it is not satisfactory to the committee, what can be done thereafter if she doesn't step aside?
Or if she doesn't appear, what are they going to do? This is also what I would like to know. What are they going to do if this woman says, no, I'm not going to appear? I'm not going to appear. Because right now, it looks like they are counting on this woman going to parliament to actually account. But what's going to happen if she says, no, I'm not going to parliament to actually account? What are they going to do?
Well, we'll have to, call upon the president then to apply his mind to the matter and consider suspending her. We're not calling for that right now because we're not in possession of all the facts. So it's very difficult to make such a startling call unless you are in possession of all the facts. And so we must make an effort to find out what the facts are. If there's no cooperation in unraveling the facts, well, then we must consider a different route.
And while we...
And again, this minister must not fall into the trap, man. You see, Advocate Glenys Brettenbach, she's very smart. You hear she says that, no, we don't have all the facts and we can't speak much because we don't have the facts. If this minister gets arrogant and goes to parliament thinking that these people do not have all the facts, man, I don't know what's going to happen to her. I don't know what's going to happen to her. So if she's serious about actually running away from accounting, from everything that she has been accused of, she must not go to parliament arrogantly, thinking that these people do not have all the facts. Of course, they do have all the facts, and they are just saying this so that maybe if she's watching somewhere, she can say that, oh, maybe these people do not have all the facts. Let me just go there and twist everything around. But I'm telling you, she must not fall into the trap. If she falls into the trap...
We need to gather all the facts first. You spoke about that glaring conflict of interest as well, with her role obviously particularly involved in the National Prosecuting Authority, who will surely be investigating these facts too.
Well, one would hope that amongst the other...
And guys, have you also realized that all of these people that have been exposed in VBS, none of them can actually say no? This story is a fabrication. These people are lying. There is not a single person that has said, Daily Maverick, you are lying about my name. There is not a single person that have said, Pauli van Wyk, I am going to sue you for defamation of character. Not a single person. Not a single person. I mean, if going from Floyd Shivambu, the EFF has never... You remember that the EFF used to say that we are going to take this woman to court because she's damaging the mighty name of the EFF. But they never took her to court. They never took her to court. Even this justice minister, she's not denying that she got the money from Gundo. She's not denying. She's not denying. She's just saying that it's a loan. And Daily Maverick says, okay, if it's a loan, why are you taking the money from a company that does not have the license to issue out loans? And this is the same company that brokered unlawful investments with VBS. So clearly this is kickbacks. It's kickbacks. None of these people can actually say this is a lie and I'm going to the court to actually force these people to walk back on everything they have said about me. None of these people can say that. Every single person that has been exposed in this whole VBS saga cannot go and say that these people are lying about my name and I'm going to the court to sue these people for defamation of character. Not a single person can say that. Not a single person can say that. And I think this is the reason why, again, Pauli van Wyk and News 24 and Daily Maverick, they say that we have something here. We have something here. Because if Pauli was making up stories about the EFF and Floyd Shivambu all along, and Floyd Shivambu knew that these people are making stories about me, then clearly Floyd Shivambu would have taken them to court. He would have taken them to court, but he hasn't. He hasn't. If anything, you remember the Parliament Ethics Committee. they actually found Floyd Shivambu guilty of not declaring the money that he got from Gameka Project. And we know that this Gameka Project is the company that belongs to Floyd Shivambu's brother. And this is the company that actually had a deal with another company that was linked with VBS. Floyd Shivambu, he never declared that money with the parliament. And the parliament said, you are guilty. You did not declare this money that came from Gameka. And we know that Gameka got this money from VBS. I find it very strange that not a single person has said that these people are lying.
Unless you are in possession of all the facts. And so we must make an effort to find out what the facts are. If there's no cooperation in unraveling the facts, well, then we must consider a different route.
And while we need to gather all the facts first, you spoke about that glaring conflict of interest as well, with her role obviously particularly involved in the National Prosecuting Authority, who will surely be investigating these facts too.
Well, one would hope that amongst the other issues that they're investigating with VBS, and one must bear in mind that the National Prosecuting Authority doesn't investigate, they prosecute. So the police or the investigative directorate should be investigating the VBS matter, but the prosecuting authority is intimately involved and intricately involved in directing the investigation and leading the investigation and providing some direction. So the conflict of interest is obvious, it's glaring, and it's deeply concerning.
Yeah. You said if you don't then get any reprieve from all these mechanisms to try and get some answers and to the bottom of this, then you'll have to write to the president to ask him to apply his mind. Now, in the past, we've seen, we can't ignore the politics as well. When it is an ANC-affiliated member, what happens in Parliament is that ANC members of Parliament then support their member of Parliament, whether it's a minister or anybody else who's under the spotlight. How is that going to work when, of course, now we have a very different positioning in Parliament? It looks very different with the GNU government. How are you going to navigate that space?
Well, as you said, the space is now a different space altogether. The ANC do not have a majority. They don't enjoy anything that closely resembles a majority, and they can do nothing on their own, hence the coalition government. So the partners in the GNU or the coalition must apply pressure to the ANC to do the right thing. And they no longer enjoy that space in which they operate with impunity.
And finally, Advocate, you did say, of course, there's some questions that need to be asked, but just if you could put us into your mind, just the kinds of questions that you would be posing to the minister should she appear before the committee.
Well, I would certainly want to know how she considered and dealt with the conflict of interest as the mayor then borrowing money back from VBS to buy her own coffee shop. I would like to know how she intends to deal with the current very glaring conflict. And the publications have put questions to her that she hasn't answered. But I would certainly like, if she says it was a commercial transaction, to see some documentary proof thereof, and if she says it's been repaid, I would like to see some proof thereof as well. Not that that would necessarily change the state of affairs.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
I mean, it doesn't matter even if she repaid the money. The thing is that the company that issue out that loan is not licensed to issue out that loan. So it doesn't matter if she says that I paid back the money. So what? So what? So what? You paid back the money. You still got the loan from the company that was not supposed to give you a loan from the first. That what actually happened. Guys, please tell me what you think. Go to the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Maba, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.